I absolutely endorse the point that we have to learn to talk about death, and until we can have that conversation and not at the point of crisis, yes. We can't have then the next conversation, which is about between that we have to go through. But I come back to the point I made with Sheila. This is a community leadership responsibility. It's not to the politicians, it's to the community. We have to have the conversation. We have to decide what we want, and then over to the politicians to enact it.
How does one do that? Obviously the politicians in a sense get the final say because they change the laws or don't. Do you think there should be some sort of plebiscite on this issue?
No, I think it's this, you start with forums and conversations, and the momentum would build one way or the other. But we have to talk about it, have to talk through it. Otherwise it becomes sort of yes-no political battle, and I don't think that's very helpful.
Australians support this. We did polling in 15 countries, Australia and mostly European countries, also Canada, America, Japan and Russia. And a majority was in favour of allowing assisted dying in every one of those countries except Russia. And then when we asked more specific questions about in what circumstances you would like to do this, to see this legal, yes, some support does fall away, but there is broad-based support and separate polling in individual countries going back quite a long way. This is not a new phenomenon. Okay. This is the right people feel that they should have.
I'm just going to quickly hear from Chris Bowen. We've got one last question to go to, so I have to keep it brief. I'm sorry about that.
We need to tackle this. I think the matters that Mike raises, while legitimate, can be worked through, and they're worked through in every other country. And you need all the checks and balances to ensure that it is a genuine decision properly made, but we have to tackle this. It hasn't been discussed in the Federal Parliament for a long time. Last time it came to a vote was before I was in the Federal Parliament. I've been in 11 years. This should be on the agenda. Do
you think a majority of your colleagues in Federal Labor would support that? There's a lot of religious objection there.
Look, it would be a conscience vote, and every MP would vote according to their conscience. I would guess that there would be strong support on my side of politics for some sort of reform here, but every MP would have their own process to go through to think through the issues and make sure that the checks and balances are appropriate. At the end of the day, it is about dying with dignity, which I think Jeffrey made the point is a pretty fundamental human right.